channel. This is Tita Lavinia of Titas of Pageantry, and for this episode, we'll get to talk about the top 50 ladies who made it as official candidates of Miss Universe Philippines 2022. So please make sure you stick around. Please subscribe to the channel as well as hit that bell notification button for your weekly pageant fix. Hey guys, I hope that you're doing well. First of all, I want to say sorry. This isn't the most ideal in terms of filming, but I'm hustling because I actually promised to post a copy of that KUMU live we had earlier, but because I didn't know how to work these things, I unfortunately got to record only 26 minutes of footage. So yeah, I decided to do this for you right now because I owe you an episode. I owe you that KUMU live footage, and yeah, might as well talk about Miss Universe Philippines. So earlier I published a video. It was a very short video just to introduce the ladies for you guys, and I'm sure that if you are on social media, you have probably come across the full list of ladies who made it to top 50. Now, I just want to give you like more information on this because they actually had a press release as to why we only have 50 ladies to begin with. Now, you may or may not believe this, but I feel like it really doesn't matter because narrowing it down to 50 as opposed to the 100 ladies from last edition, that was overwhelming for me to even follow. So I thought that trimming it down to 50 was a really good move for them. Does this make sense? Does this indicate that they don't have a budget? Or does this indicate that not a lot of applicants came in? Maybe. We're not sure. But let me tell you, as based on what we talked about on the KUMU live sesh, it really doesn't matter because if there are 50 ladies that they will be trimming down to 30 by the finals this coming April, apparently it's slated this April 30th at the MOA Arena according to the press release of Miss Universe Philippines. If this is so, it just means that they could focus on the other things rather than having that major voting scheme where everybody just went frantic with paying, not paying, having a celebrity make hakot like millions of fans. So I think that this time around, the selection process or the process of trimming down the candidates will be a lot easier, will be a lot more fluid. So yes, the top 50 list that we have now, just to be very clear, this is already the official list of delegates. So unfortunately, you won't have the likes of Patch, you won't have the likes of Atisa, Emma, or even Steffi, or even Yvette Santiago in the roster. So, guys, pwede na siguro nating tigilan. Now, all right. I'm doing this right now just to give you also an idea on what we talked about on the KUMU live sesh I had earlier, because I asked my viewers why they felt the way they feel right now, why they feel a little underwhelmed or yeah, a little anticlimactic with the list that was presented to us. And there were really very interesting reasons there, actually. I think timing also played a big role because they're announcing it now, and I think a lot of us are preoccupied with, trying to follow the news on what's happening in Ukraine. So knowing how difficult and how heavy things are in the world setup, I think going back to pageantry and talking about Miss Universe Philippines is just a little weird. Another common reason that they mentioned was that, yeah, they expected some of the returnees or the other queens to come back, but the ladies that they got to see for this edition weren't exactly the ladies that they were really praying for. So the disappointment factor was there. I mean, I know it can be a little harsh to listen to the term, but there were a number of people who did say that this batch is actually a downgrade. So yeah, it is a little harsh, but I think a lot of people share the same thing. But here's the thing, guys, it's pretty new. I know that you feel this way because the roster of girls, they aren't quite as well known as some of the heavy hitting members of last year's edition. So we don't have a lot of celebrities in this edition, and I think that those who are heavy favorites for this year still need a lot of work. Almost all of them have really good communication skills, but I feel like there are still more things that has to be worked on. And the good thing is that most of these things are just cosmetics. Most of these things that have to be worked on has something to do with just a change in styling. I mean, we don't have to change these girls. We don't have to ask them to read more. We don't have to ask them to practice more in terms of really honing their communication skills and their public speaking skills, because they're pretty much at par, at least based on the application videos that they submitted. We have really yet to get to meet them in depth. But based on the observation of many, yeah, I think another factor is the fact that they were waiting for other girls and they are still holding out hope that even if they didn't get to see these girls at Miss Universe Philippines, that they might actually see these ladies at Binibining Pilipinas or even Miss World Philippines or even Miss Philippines Earth. So just the shift of interest is also contributing to the collective observation that this year we'll probably just watch everything and then take a back seat, and hopefully we won't be as pressed or as woke as to who will be picked as this year's winner. And I think also one of the reasons why this is also being talked about is the dominance, of course, of the ladies from Aces and Queens who made the cut, and there were very little mention of the other camps. Of course, there's TCI, the newest camp on the block with Katrina Legado, and of course, the camp also sent Celeste Cortesi, but KF, we don't know yet who made it from their camp. And as for the others, we just know very little about them. So we have the full month of March to get to know these ladies. And unfortunately, most of their activities will happen in KUMU. I honestly think that this is a bubble. If you're not going to make an effort to go to KUMU, if you're not going to make an effort to get to learn more about these ladies, then you probably won't have the interest to really bank on them. So I just feel like hopefully they'll be more open with this. And now that I've opened up being more open, I know a lot of you will ask, Tita, can you interview this? Can you interview that? And I think I've made myself pretty clear that if it has something to do with interviewing these ladies, it's not up to me. I would love to interview them. I would love to get to talk to them. In fact, I've already sent out invitations to a number of them so I could interview them like this. But knowing, of course, that very obvious thing that Miss Universe Philippines isn't granting any interviews that I request for, then it's not up to me, you guys. I know that there are some handlers who would want me to interview some of their alagas, but I would usually say yes, but I really won't push for it if the organization is already saying no, and if the ladies in question might have a more difficult time because of their association with me. So I would rather, you know, take a chance and give them the invites, but then also take a step back and see if they grant this. But because a lot of you will ask, then yeah, let it be clear that it's not me, it's them. Jonah Sweet of Aklan is joining. Jonah Sweet, if you remember her, she joined Miss World Philippines. Beautiful face. I really like the Mestiza feature. She does remind me of Shella Falconer, but maybe on the more brunette side. So really pretty face. It's just that I haven't really heard from her after her Miss World Philippines stint. So I hope that she brings something new to the table. We also have, of course, another heavy favorite in the competition, Julia Sobier. She will be representing Albay. And with Julia, I actually like the fact that she's not overly done. I know a lot of people are saying Julia has to have things done to her face, surgically or non-surgically. I'm actually liking the kick-ass, um, I don't know, like way of attacking styling. So if they can manage to improve Julia's styling with just hair and makeup, I would rather go, by this channel rather than opt for enhancements like a lot of people are saying. So yeah, go for the gold, Julia. We have Mariel Tungol from Arayat, Pampanga. I am particularly smitten with Genesis Latugat of Baguio City. I think she's really very promising. I posted her on Titas of Pageantry. She does remind me of the Rina Boats. And she is an Igorota and looks tall, photographs tall, really nice Filipina features. We also have Kevin Mateo of Bataan. I like this one. I'm very intrigued. She reminds me a little bit of Isa Calzado, Hannah Arnold, as well as Chalita. Her name is Elsa Sally Schumacher from Batanes. We also have Bianca May Awatin from Batangas Province. Pauline Amelinx looks amazing in this photo. Let me tell you, if she can channel this all throughout the competition, I think she will be really heavy competition. She is, of course, representing Bohol. And then we move on to Miss Bukidnon, Miriam Kampong. I like this one, Bulacan Province, Naika May Bernardo. I'm just not too keen on this headshot. I think this headshot was overly processed. We couldn't really see the contours of her face anymore. It's just so smooth. So just a little pullback when it comes to processing photos. Janica Joy Cassin of Cavite, I think she has to stick with this hair and makeup. I don't even mind the contact lenses because it makes her eyes pop. Because when I checked on her social media account, she does look a little different from the photo, and we don't want that. Okay, so this one is very interesting as well. A lot of people are really looking into her. Chantal Schmidt from Cebu City. Cebu is sending major ammunition for this competition. They have 4 ladies who are competing for, Team Cebu, and all 4 ladies are just, I don't know, creme de la creme of the nationals. So I think Chantal is really good to go. But if I may echo what I said in the KUMU live session I had earlier, I just want to say that I want a little spark of joy when it comes to Chantal, because I do feel like every time I get to listen to her, she talks about things that are real. She talks about things that are heavy. She talks about things that are just a little sad for me. So maybe just a little bit of joy would help. Lou Pixon looks amazing in this photo. I just fear that it may have been like too done, like the makeup may have been too much. But I mean, if she's gonna channel this, she's representing Cebu Province, like good for her. But I also want to share the same observation that I shared in Kumu, that I think it's gonna be a little difficult for Lou to make it this time, because the packaging and just the vibe is just so similar with Bea Luigi. Well, that's great if they want to work with someone easy, if they want to work with someone who's really game. But of course, when you are sending someone at Miss Universe, the Philippines is known for their diversity. So the Philippines can jump from a mestiza looking candidate to someone who looks more Filipina. So I just feel like it's the look of Lou and Bea is just really very similar. Davao City has Myrel Martinez. I am also particularly interested with Jean Nietzsche Orsena from Davao del Norte. I think she has nice hair. I think that she has a really nice facial composition. Maybe the teeth, we have to do something about it. But again, that's just, I feel, pretty minor. Nothing too big, just, a lot straighter if they can do this. Guys, I'm just sharing what we talked about in Kumu. And when we talked about these things in Kumu, it was really more of a casual discussion. So if I'm saying some commentaries on these girls, I hope that you wouldn't take offense, because I'm really trying to be very careful about it. I'm not being nasty, I promise you. I'm just trying to say these things. Maybe some things could be done for their improvement, but of course it's really up to these ladies and their handlers if they will think that this is offensive or not. So moving on, I'm really happy to see Jedida Corinihona back, of course, of Davao del Sur. I think that she is still the firecracker that she is. I just wish that this time around she gets to show more of her sophisticated side. And then moving on, Giginto Bulacan has Aidil Sanchez. Ilocos Norte has Liza Katrina Samalio. Ilocos Sur is Jewel Alexandria Palacat. I heard that this one is 5'11". Next, Dorothy Himilian of Iloilo City looks amazing. I did mention that she reminds me, at least from this headshot, a little bit of Phoebe Godinez and the other beauties from Cebu, because she does have that vibe. Vanessa Caro of Iloilo Province, I've been hearing a lot of buzz from her. I'm actually very interested. I hope she would be amenable for an interview, because I'm really very interested to get to hear her. A lot of people are telling me, Tita, you should interview her because she's a really good speaker. And yeah, I mean, if I had the chance, I would. I like her headshot here. It's a little different from how she presents herself because she usually goes for this alabaster skin look with really dark hair, dark brows, and full lashes and red lips. So very East Asian. So yeah, I'm really liking this more toned down, more earthy look on her. We also have Zenith Khan of Isabela, Luis Dabu of La Union, Sonia Tanyag of Laguna, and then we move on to Sashi Chesa of Lapu-Lapu City. Now, unfortunately, this headshot doesn't do her justice. It, for me, doesn't really show the best of her features, but when you look at her social media account and one of her more recent photos, she has an amazing physique, guys. We also have Isabel Christine Braza of Las Piñas. Lemery, Batangas is being represented by Sharifa Malabanan. Lucena City, Anjanette Hapor. Sorry for the tricycle, can't do anything about that. Macabebe, Pampanga, Alyssa George Felix. And of course, we have Michelle D for Makati. I think that we've already said everything that has to be said about Michelle. I hope that she listens. The Pasarela apparently is already doing pretty well in terms of showing more power, in terms of showing more of swagger as well. But yeah, the manner of speaking and the speed and wit, these are the things that we have to really wait for with Michelle. Malolos Bulacan is represented by Abigail Maclang. And we also have Isabel Luce of Mandaue City. A lot of people are asking about her. I know that she is an influencer on TikTok, but I'm not yet quite as convinced. She is very pretty, she is very young, but as of this point, even with the likes of Harna Sandu, I'm really looking for that degree of sophistication, that degree of elegance, and I just feel like she just seemed a little too young for Miss Universe Philippines. Maybe if she could try out in a different pageant first, maybe. Let's see. Next, we have Seychelle Huaquico. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name, from Maribeles, Bataan. Annabelle McDonald from Misamis Oriental is also one of the favorites for the competition. So she will go head to head with the ladies who are more established. But I think Annabelle's weapon really is her comm skills and just how fast she can think of something to say, because apparently based on some of the classmates that have been messaging us, Annabelle is the real deal when it comes to moving head to head with like speaking engagements or like speaking activities. And then we have Maria Cristel Antibo of Negros Occidental, Marilit Ilagan of Negros Oriental, Nicole Mendiola of Northern Samar, Jillian De Mesa of Nueva Vizcaya, Angelica Lopez of Palawan, who looks amazing in this photo. It does remind me a little bit of Gazini when it comes to the intensity. This one I'm really very interested in. Her name is Ivy Lou Bourbon from Pangasinan. I'm not quite so sure about her height, but she does photograph tall and she has tanned skin, beautiful cheekbones. I mean, her cheekbones are insane. So I'm really liking this beauty. I hope I get to listen to her. I hope she blows us away. Of course, we have the goddess that is Celeste Cortezi of Pasay. I think I've said it so many times. I really wasn't so keen on her at first. I felt that she was a little lost when she won Miss Philippines Earth. And I'm glad that she took a break, that we didn't really get to hear a lot about her after her Miss Philippines Earth stint, and that she is now back. She's more chatty, she's more calm. She doesn't strike me as, this wild party girl anymore, because if I'm being very honest, she did have that vibe the last time. So I like that she seemed a lot centered this time. And of course, when it comes to the comm skills, I mean, you can't compare. She's not at the level of the Julia Sobies. I mean, I get that. But she is engaging and she knows how to pace herself. And based on the KUMU video that she submitted, I feel like she is in the right headspace. So to add that to the beauty, the likability, and relatability, because she seemed to be like making mistakes and being very human about it, and of course the face, and just the sexiness all over. I think, yeah, there is a reason why the camp opened their doors for just one candidate this year. And then moving on to the last group, we have Gracel Distura of Quezon Province, really very promising. Not too keen on this headshot, but I did check on her social media pages, and she does have that fresh look about her. I think I mentioned this in the KUMU live session as well, that if you look at some of her pictures before being all made up like this, she looks to me as if she's part of those kids from the Zobel de Ayala clan, because she does have that mestiza look going on that's just very, had a vacation in France sort of thing. We have Sofia Torres of Rizal. We have Francesca Davides of Rojas City. Emmanuel Vera's sister made it, Daniel Cam Cam of San Juan City. It's just that, unfortunately, I also did not get to remember her. Someone asked me about her, and I did not remember her from the roster at all, and I think this has something to do with the headshot that she submitted. Unfortunately, this wasn't the best. This one did not capture her best features. We also have Shaira Diaz of San Pablo, Laguna, very promising, but I also mentioned that maybe we need a little more of an elegance factor from her, a sophistication factor for her, because right now she's looking very euphoria for me. So, but again, guys, that's just me. We also have Camela Doma of Sorsogon, Mary Don Abiera of Sultan Kudarat, of course, Katrina Ligado of Taguig. I think that what Katrina again has to work on, because again, this is now a very physical competition. Com skills, we don't have any issues with this anymore, but she does have to put in extra work, because if she is to compete with the top tier favorites, her com skills has to be at par. Another thing that another area of improvement that I hope they get more attention in really planning is her wardrobe and the way she presents herself. Whenever I see Katrina, I feel like she's always in colorful clothes. I feel like the clothes that she wears just has way too many recados. And I feel also that sometimes the fit and the make suffer. So I would love to see Katrina in something more streamlined, something more minimalist, something edgy without the extra Edward Scissorhand trappings, if you know what I mean, like the lowits and things like that. And then the last lady on our list is Shanelyn Bison of Victoria City, Negros Occidental. So there you go, guys. I know that this is a little lengthy, but because I haven't been very diligent in giving you content, I hope you'd forgive me for giving you this much to say. So moving forward, I will be seeing most of you here, of course, on YouTube. But if you want to catch me on KUMU, I am there to do live sesh every Saturday. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to have those videos posted here on YouTube because I don't know how yet. I tried to do the screen recording thing. Unfortunately, it only captured a few minutes of my live sesh. But if this is a way for you to head over to that side and maybe, support me in this slow but steady expansion, then thank you so much. So there you go, guys. This is a little impromptu, a little crude, but I hope to see you more. And please, I want to get to listen to more of your thoughts, so write them down in the comment section. But before I go, I just want to give a mention also to what is, or acknowledge what is happening in Ukraine and the relationship with Russia. I know that we should be out of this, but as Filipinos, I know that we can't help but be involved in some way, because some of us have family, some of us are friends there, and some of us also are really very concerned with what is happening. So just being very realistic about this, there's very little that I can do, that we can do, but we just have to share information. So guys, if you need information, or if you want to share information on how to help the folks from Ukraine, especially the animals, I am particularly heartbroken about the animals in Ukraine right now. So please don't hesitate to tag us on Titas of Pageantry and send us links on how we can help each other and direct people on where they can stay, shelters, as well as information on asylum seekers. So thank you so much, guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Rain.